So there is this dragon, which is again interesting because we are told it doesn't exist. But when you look at that 12 animals calendar of China, Chinese calendar, something like that. So the rest of the mostly animals exist. Why doesn't dragon exist? Just a question. This is the introduction. So the story goes like, no young man, no matter how great, can know his destiny. He cannot glimpse his part in the great history, and that is about to unfold, the uncertainty. Because if you know your path, it's not your path. So like everyone, he must live, he must learn. Then his mother sends him, this main character, to the mentor in palace, and he needs a hand to hold. Don't we all? A voice to guide. Sometimes that voice is inside us. If we get silent, let that. Someone that might help him find a purpose for his gifts. So you got to know your gifts and then purpose. And then this is his mentor, Gaius. You are a question that has never been posed before. Now he's in this conversation with the dragon that keeps calling his name Merlin, Merlin. No, you have got this wrong. And now the dragon is telling him, there is no right and wrong, which again brings me that Shakespeare line. There is no right, there is no wrong. Then, because we are taught from the nursery class, education system, job system, hierarchy, straight line. So there is either, it's like mathematical, whole question is either you will be given the marks 0, totally wrong, or totally correct, 100 numbers. There is no right or wrong, black and white, day and night. If you get into the esoteric underlying meanings, so it's another world full of new perspective. Maybe life is not rigid the way we see in 3D. It is, everything is pretty much moving. So there is no right or wrong, only what is and what isn't. Like that, as above, so below, as within, as without. None of us can choose our destiny. So this is the main theme that I'm really interested in. And none of us can escape the destiny. Perhaps it's your destiny. Change that. If only it were so easy to escape one's destiny. How can it be my destiny to protect someone who hates me? They say there is no final feeling, so the character at first hate the Arthur, but then it's really interesting from the point of view emotions. When we say, I hate you, I hate that, it takes like moments, it takes a couple of days, months, if you're into growth, to start liking the thing that you hate or start hating the thing that you like. A half can't truly hate that which makes it whole, like two sides of the same coin. A half cannot truly hate that which makes it whole. Very soon, you shall learn that. Oh, great. Just what I need. Another riddle. And I guess life is riddle. That keeps the spark, the curiosity, the growth, the spontaneity, not knowing what's coming next. Because with rigidity, with routine, we start getting bored. But again, getting boring is also essential, not getting stimulated in organic dopamine ordering. In boredom, in silence, things come out. You start doing things that you're supposed to do, but you're not thinking. You're just doing it. Then you got to know, wow. That you are Arthur's path lies together in but the truth. Where is that supposed to mean? Young warlock, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Like we think with our death or whoever we love, we're too attached with our possessions, with our people, with our friends, with our office, with our money. And when something ends, we think it just ends. It's that. But I think that is a beginning. Ending is a beginning. Coming back, just give me a straight answer. Yes, we need straight answers, just like black and white. And then there's this symbol, the statue. And sometimes I wonder when you study Tartarian Age, listen to those videos, those books, maybe these statues are, some kind of technology. They are just like, they were once living. And then with that technology or whatever, the 5 basic elements, they are now just freeze. Because that what happened in 11 September 2001. Yeah, because it wasn't what we were shown in CGI images videos. It was the technology justification. And, when the energy is equal, whatever the building is made up of, it can vibrate the material of that building and it can just turn into the dust and it can just... So these symbols, this emblem, the statue, the animal dog, like you keep observing it. And sometimes it seems so simple, things in our life. An easy solution is like a light in a storm. You can see that now. How many times have I warned you about the responsibilities of a warlock? Trust the elements that are at your command. Earth, fire, and air. What is it I have to do? You can't do this alone. You are but one side of a coin. So maybe I'm interpreting it in my case, I'm not just my external personality, I'm also internal. And when you get into the alchemy, the esoteric, you're like, you work on your inner inside you. If there is that balance, outside will just according to that, you start, your perspective will change. You'll say the same things which seems problematic to you, now the other way around. Maybe that's our two sides, our sun personality outside and our moon personality hidden inside. Sometimes you have got to do what you think is right, and the consequences. You think I should go, it doesn't matter what I think. I guess I have shared on it the YouTube video, the shoulds of others. It's a myth. You should live according to parents, according to elders, according to culture, according to traditions. It doesn't work just because it worked for that sibling or your mother or father, your friend. It will not work for you because you are different. Everyone is different. Do your own research, find your own path. So it doesn't matter what others think. And yeah, the point here was the rules. We are not breaking the rules. We are just bending them. That's all. Because it's Lego movie animated. It's all about rules. And if you don't follow the rules according to that government, you will put to sleep, just like the movie Matrix. I don't know what's open inside me. I'm not sure. Definitely my third eye is not open, but everything, every movie, every book, every line, every writer, at least what I am coming across is talking about the same thing. Wake up, be aware, which I translate in Quran. Wاتقوا الله, instead of being fear of Allah, being aware of Allah. Be aware, be conscious, not just skull and bones, the bones, the action of your body, and the skull, the thinking, but also the emotion, that feeling, electromagnetism, all these three steps. So rules are supposed to be banned. Rules are control us. It's rigid versus the flow of life. Be like a water. I wish there was something I could do. And then he says, there is. You can stop blaming yourself. So I'm relating it with myself, as whether are you conscious, subconscious, unconscious, are you blaming yourself for something? Because these things which are intangible, you can't touch, but these weigh on a heavy weight on our souls. So we need to stop blaming ourselves. We need to stop blaming yourself and be aware. Are you blaming? Are you in some resentment, guilt? This is the king, Uther. Never. The law is the law, a rigid system. So he's a traditional man, going according to the rules, using less of his heart. Maybe the responsibility of his state is that much bigger. So you can see in our current 2025 that thing versus our generation. We know our previous generation template is not working anymore, but we want to make them happy versus the people of our generation. Like, we know it's outdated, it needs update, it needs the 3 steps: unlearn, relearn, and apply those. Never, the law is the law, the code bends for no man. But he bended for his son. When it comes to your own loved ones, you bend it. But when it comes to the common people, you don't do it. And maybe there's other perspective to see that this is just one. For your own people, separate rules. For other people, strangers, other rules. Then he's challenging, like our generation. Then the code is wrong. You have 2 different rules. You have already proved that to us, but I must prove it to myself. So it's important in our eyes, our value versus instead of making others happy. How old a man can become and yet change so little. Yeah. I feel the same when I come across the people, who travel a lot, who read, but still nothing changed. There's no growth inside them. They are like a stagnant water, which smells pungent. You have struggled against his destiny, but you can no more prevent it than he can. That is of your choosing. And which comes to me to the point, we always have a choice. It's just, we say it's easy not to do anything. You always have a choice. That is of your choosing. I have no choice. I'm sorry, Gwen. And that's what she says. In life, you always have a choice. Sometimes it's easier to think that you don't. So what if magic isn't something you choose? What if it chooses you? You can put here any word. What if the destiny isn't something you choose? What if it chooses you? It was a spur of the moment decision, the uncertain, the spontaneous. How did you know? Like you. I hear him speak. Different, different people, different capacity of their ears, like animals have greater than human. Why does he call me Amir? Because that is your name. There is much written about you that you have yet to read. You should not protect this boy. He has magic. He's just like me. You and the boy are as different as day and night. It's hard when you go into esoteric, hidden in plain insight. Day and night are different, but at the same time, it's also like a compliment. Like man and woman are different. It's not like men are above or women are below. They're complement to each other. They're two in one instead of competition comparison, like two faces of the same coin. You only do what you believe to be right. Nothing can stop it until it has achieved what it came for. Law of magic, old religion. To create a life, there is a death. That is really weird. Whenever in my life someone enters or someone leaves, and then always universe, it's like universe doesn't like empty spots. It always fills it. The balance of the world had to be repaid. By the end of the video, I remember there was also a really good article on SOULMATE by TWITCHYWITCH on Substack. Law of magic, or maybe magic troubles you. It's more like law of universe. So life and that is not the end. Ending is just the beginning. The balance of the world had to be repaid. Can you show me one of those fables? I think the ancient knowledge, the ancient books are full of metaphors. It's a coded language. It's not just you can be satisfied if you want the surface meaning, but there are people who always want more. So a weapon forged with... Okay, now he's talking like a sword. He's asking about the sword. The whole series is filled with symbols. Tarot suits of swords represent logic, mind, your thoughts. They deal with problems, troubles, planning, communication, ideas, intellect, how you use it. They represent your daily life struggles, problem in general. It's a hidden language. It's a symbols. Everything is a symbol. Name is a symbol. McDonald's, MCDONALD are symbols. Iconography is symbols. Even the emojis are symbols. Or should we call sigils? What's the difference between sigils and symbols? So the sword, he's asking for a special sword from a dragon. So now he's talking about a weapon forged with dragon assistance will have great power. You do not know. You can only guess that power. You have not seen what I have seen. If you had, perhaps you would not ask this of me. What is made can't be unmade. An old religion is the magic of the earth itself. It is the essence, the core, which binds all things together. It will last long beyond the time of man. And it seems, the more you read this stuff, whether it's Alan Watts, Krishnamurti, Walter Russell, Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, it's like there was a one seed from that one source, like one source, one God, one Allah, whatever you want to believe it. From that one seed, this tree, trunk, and then there are these branches, and these branches of that tree represents different religions. So it's on you whether you looking for similarities or looking for differences. Like we call it in Urdu, differences. Fark karna. Separation or union. Harmony. So it seems to me like that. There was the one old religion. The one old religion is the magic of the earth itself. And the earth it is since then, and it is the core which binds all things together. And this old religion will last long beyond the time of man. And then again, this chalice and the tarot card. So again,